Okay. Okay. So let's begin. In a comfortable seat on your mat. You can face any direction. You can sit however you want to. The shins can be stacked in front of each other. The ankles can be crossed. You can be sitting on a block or on the ankles. Or in a chair, however you want to sit, really. Whenever you arrive, allow the eyes to close and the shoulders to drop. Let's take a big cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. Just starting to come into whatever space you're in this morning. Letting the breaths be slow and steady. Letting the muscles in the face release. The forehead, the eyebrows soften. And the jaw hangs heavy. Feel the shoulders draw slightly together and down your back. Feeling how that lifts the heart. The chin falls slightly toward the heart, elongating the back of the neck and lifting the crown of your head. Feel the lower ribs knit in as the navel pulls in toward the spine, supporting your low back. Feeling both sit bones rooted into your mat. Practice deepening the breath with this 4-7-8 breath. And if this is too long for you to hold or too long for you to exhale, just go to wherever your limit is, holding as long as comfortable and exhaling for as long as comfortable. If you can, challenging yourself to try to inhale for the count of 4 seconds. And at the top of that inhale, hold that breath for 7 seconds. And then slowly releasing the air, exhaling for 8 seconds. Imagining you're exhaling through a straw, so the air is coming out so slowly. And do that a few times, if that feels good. Take one more round. At the bottom of your last exhale, just allow the breath to return to its natural state. Noticing if there's been any shifts in your mind or your body so far. Then beginning to activate your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose with a slight restriction in the back of your throat. As if you were to fog up a mirror, but with the mouth closed. Letting this be the breath that carries you through your practice. As you're ready, inhale, sweep both arms up and over your head. Take some big circles with your wrists, maybe wiggling the fingers. You can keep the eyes closed or open to a soft gaze, whatever feels right. Maybe flick the fingers a few times, opening and closing the palms, just starting to wake up the hands, wake up the arms. Knitting those ribs back under. And then release the hands, just let them relax. And then exhale, drop your right arm down, bend over to the right, stretching out the left side of the body. As you inhale, you find length in the spine, and as you exhale, you bend a little deeper. Maybe the heart curls open toward the ceiling a little bit more. Keeping the left sit bone rooting down, feeling the space from that left sit bone through the fingertips. An option to take any movements you want to take here too. Throughout the whole practice, if you want to find more fluid movements and wiggling motions in your poses, you may do so. Or if you want to find more stillness, you may do that as well. Next time you inhale, raise both arms back up. And let's take that to the other side. Left arm comes down, bending over to the left, stretching out the right side of the body. Just feeling that space from your right sit bone now that's staying rooted down through the right fingertips. And same thing over here. If there's any movements you want to take, feel free to take them. Next time you inhale, raise both your arms back up when you're ready. Then exhale, drop your hands to your knees and bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Just starting to wake up the neck. Letting it rest here for a little bit, letting it be heavy. Feeling the spine staying straight. And each time you exhale, the right ear comes a little bit closer to the right shoulder. Maybe you start to walk the left fingertips out to the side, reaching down and out, continuing this stretch up the length of the arm. And if this feels good, you can also bring your right hand on top of the left ear. And not pulling the head or the neck, just letting the weight of your hand rest on top of your head. So surrendering more to gravity here, keeping the spine straight and then letting the head and the arms release under the pressure. If you want to take any movements with your left hand, you may do so. Maybe you start to rotate the palm to face up and rotating it to face back. Each movement that you make, if you're making movements, just notice how it shifts the stretch a little bit. Exploring where it feels good in your body. And then start to tuck your chin down toward your chest, stretching more the back side of your neck for a moment. And gently releasing the head, allow that neck to dangle down to center. Take a few neck circles, maybe half circles, just bringing your chin to the chest and over to the right shoulder. Chin to the chest, over to the left shoulder. Or maybe, if it feels good in your neck, you can take full circles. Bringing your neck back and round. Only if that feels okay for you. Feeling the difference in the sides of the neck. And then when you feel ready, you can bring your chin back down to center. And slowly inhale, your head rises up. And then we'll take that to the other side. Exhale, left ear comes to the left shoulder. Releasing the head here. Letting the weight of your head become a little bit heavier with each exhale. Keeping the spine active and straight. Sit bones staying rooting into your mat. Noticing if this side feels a lot different than your other side. Knowing that's okay. And maybe you start to walk your right fingertips down and out. Reaching away from the ear. Starting to feel the space from the right fingertips through the right ear. Breathing. And if you did so on the other side, you can bring the left hand on top of the right ear, just letting the weight of your head become heavy. allowing the hand to rest on the head. Maybe you take some movements with your right hand, rotating the palm up and back, wiggling the fingers. You are finding some movement, just moving slowly, maybe a little slower than you want to move. And then begin to tuck your chin down toward the chest, just stretching out the back, right side of your neck. And then gently releasing the head when you feel even, and just taking a few more neck circles, maybe half circles going down and over, or maybe full circles. And then you can bring the chin back down to center. Pause for a moment here. Just feel this nice stretch down the back of the neck. And then you can interlace the hands, bring them behind the head. Let the elbows dangle by your sides, by the ears. Just deepening the stretch a little bit more. And then as you inhale, start to push your head into your hands and open your elbows out to the sides, opening the heart. And then exhale, curl the elbows down and curl the spine back, coming down into a rainbow shape with your spine. And then inhaling, straightening the spine, opening the heart, opening the elbows, lifting the tip of the chin from the sternum. And then exhale, curl down, tuck the chin to the chest, pull the pelvic floor in and up toward the navel. And then inhale the other way, so tipping the pelvic floor back from the navel, opening the heart, opening the throat. And then when you're ready, exhale and release the arms, fold forward over your shins, and just pause for a moment here. Checking in with yourself, maybe setting an intention for your practice. Reminding yourself why you showed up today. And then when you're ready, you can plant the hands down, roll over your ankles, and come into your tabletop position. Landing with the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. And when you look back between the thighs, make sure the toes stay in line with the knees so they're hidden behind the thighs. And next time you inhale, drop your belly down, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone to your cow pose. Micro bend in the elbows, pulling the heart forward and through, shoulder blades coming together. And then exhale, pull the heart back, push the ground away, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone to your cat pose. And then keep moving like this with your breath. So inhaling to your cow pose, exhaling back to cat. But feel free to play around here. You can close the eyes, take any movements that feel good. If you want to wag the tail, take circles with the shoulders or the hips, you may do so. And just staying firm, rooting into the hands, so not putting too much pressure in the wrists. Rooting into the base of each finger and the tips of each finger. And when you feel nice and loose, you can start to find your way back to a neutral tabletop. And when you're ready, just leaving the hips over the knees, walk the hands forward and melt the heart down into your puppy pose. Feeling the shoulder blades drawing together, you can bring the forehead or the chin to the mat or a block. Each time you exhale, releasing a little bit more. Breathing into the shoulders, breathing into the heart. And slowly start to pull the navel up to the spine. Walk your hands back about halfway to where they were before. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. We'll come into a downward facing dog. Always an option to stay in tabletop if you don't want to practice your down dog today, or if you're unable to for whatever reason. But if you are in your down dog, take turns bending each knee. So putting a big bend in each leg, stretching out the opposite hamstring. Staying rooted in all your knuckles and your fingertips. The biceps are drawing in and up. The shoulders are drawing down your back. Gaze is between the feet. Hips lifting as high as you can, navel pulling into the spine. Nice stretch down the backs of your legs. Maybe letting both heels be heavy. And then when you're ready, bend the knees, look up toward the top of your mat, and start to walk your feet up to meet your hands, 1 inch at a time. Feeling your core pulling each foot up and forward. Landing halfway lift as you inhale, flat spine. And exhale to your forward fold. Bending the knees so much so that the belly can rest on the thighs. Letting the head and the torso be heavy. Feeling this length in your spine. Shifting the weight a little bit more toward the balls of your feet. Lifting the hips as high as you can. Envision a string at your tailbone, lifting your hips a little higher. And it's okay that the knees are bent, just lifting the hips. Feeling the tops of your thighs drawing up. Take 2 more deep exhales here. Good. And then very slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, begin to roll your body up to a standing position. Stacking each bone on top of each other, rolling the shoulders back at the top, palms coming to face outward in your mountain pose. Keeping that micro bend in the knees, both feet rooting into your mat, lifted from the crown of your head. Feel your head over your heart, over your hips, over your heels. So we'll flow for the first half of class, and then we'll do some yin postures to finish up. We'll get the blood pumping, the heat building, and then we'll really cool it down and get deeper into the body. So as you're ready, inhale, raise both arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant your hands. Inhale, step back to your plank position. Maybe the knees come down, elbows bending alongside the ribs. Lower yourself in one piece down to your mat. Inhale, slightly lift the heart, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, start to push yourself up through your tabletop, tuck your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Few breaths here. And then bend the knees, look forward and step up to the top of your mat, halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach up. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands down, inhale back to your plank. You can do exactly what we did before. You can come to a tabletop and take a cat-cow. Or you can lower halfway to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to an upward facing dog, and exhale to your downward facing dog. So the flows are always optional. Listen to your body. If you feel like doing them today, do them. If you don't have to. This is your practice. You can make this practice as rigorous or as gentle as you want to. When you're ready, you can bend the knees, look forward, and step up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach up. Exhale again, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant your hands, step back to a plank. Move through your version of a flow, and we'll meet in a down dog or a tabletop or wherever you are. You're ready, bend the knees, look up and step up. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rooting to rise, reaching up. And exhale, pull your hands to heart center. Just pause for a moment here. Let the blood settle back in. Feel your heartbeat into your thumbs. Feel your thumbs beat back into your heart. We'll move through one more flow on either side, adding in a warrior one, and then we'll make it down to do some yin postures. When you're ready, inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let it go. Plant your hands, inhale back to plank. Move through a flow, we'll meet in a down dog. And from here, inhale your right leg back and up. Reaching through the heel, toes pointing toward the ground, hips are square. Reaching this leg from the core. Great. And from here, bend your knee in toward the chest, shift your weight forward, and place the foot at the top of your mat. You can always grab your foot with your right hand as well. And then step your back foot so it's flat on the mat and the toes are facing the front right or the front left corner of the mat. And then inhale, your arms rise up, warrior one. Hips are square to the front, inner thighs scissoring in toward each other. Front knee stays over the front ankle. Arms can reach up toward the ceiling. They can be at heart center. They could be on your hips. They could be cactus. Options are endless. Breathing here. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your arms down, frame your front foot. Step back to a plank. Move through a flow, we'll meet in a down dog. So as you're ready, you can inhale your left leg back and up, keeping those hips really square, reaching through the heel, toes pointing toward the ground, leg lifting from the core. And then bend your knee into the chest, shift your weight forward and place that foot at the top of your mat, or use your left hand to bring it up there. Step your back foot to warrior one legs and inhale, rise up, warrior one on the other side. Feeling really strong in both of your legs. Back toes facing the front right corner of the mat. Hips are square, headlights on the hips facing forward. Breathing. Tailbone reaching down, feeling how that can increase the stretch in the top of your right thigh, your hip flexor. Keeping the spine really straight. Looks great. One more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the arms down, frame your front foot, step back to a plank, move through a flow. We'll meet in a down dog. Few breaths here. And then bend the knees, look up and step up, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rooting to rise, reach up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So pausing here. Feeling the heat building within you, feeling the sweat, feeling your heartbeat. Now we'll start to cool the body down. As you're ready, inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat spine, half lift. Exhale, let it go. Plant your hands down, step right back to your down dog or your tabletop. And then if you're in down dog, slowly bend the knees, let them find the mat. Untuck the toes and sit the hips down on the heels, coming into child's pose. So you have some options for your child's pose. If you want to focus more on your spine today, bring your toes together and your knees together. If you want to focus more on the hips, you can bring your toes together and your knees as wide as the mat. If you want more length in the body, your arms can be reaching forward long on the mat. If you want to be a little more passive in the shoulders, you can bring the arms back behind you at the backs of the hands on the mat. Whatever feels good to you right now in this moment, whatever your body's calling for, trusting that. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can always slide a block or a blanket in between the thighs and the heels, or in between the knees, or under the forehead. And surrendering wherever you are. Allow the weight of your body to fold over your thighs, over your mat. Letting go of any sensations of holding. Trusting that there's nowhere else you should be right now. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. We'll very slowly start to make our way up to our seats. You can start to either walk your hands back toward your seat, push the backs of your hands into the mat, and bring yourself up to sit on your ankles. Just pausing for a moment here. You can let the eyes stay closed. And then come forward into your tabletop. And slowly lower yourself down to lay on your belly, bending the elbows alongside the ribs. And you can turn onto your left cheek, maybe making a pillow with your hands. And then bend your right leg so that your ankle comes in toward the bum. And then let your foot fall toward the inside of your body as you slide your right knee out to the side. Bring your right foot in line with the knee as you keep sliding your knee up in line with the hip. Coming into a half frog position. Can you see it? Yeah. So your right knee is out to the right side of your mat in line with the hip. The foot is in line with the knee and flexed just to protect the knee. So your toes are pointing toward the right as well. Perfect. So just surrendering here. Letting yourself rest in this really passive, comforting posture. Letting your hips be heavy. You can always bring a little blanket or pillow underneath your right knee if that would be nice to have more comfort there. And just letting yourself rest. Noticing any thoughts that are active and swirling within the mind. And then bringing the focus back to the breath, back to the body. Feeling your heart beating against the mat. Feeling your belly expanding and condensing against the mat. And then from here, start to straighten your left arm, reaching the fingertips forward, bringing the bicep up alongside the left ear. And then bend your right arm so that the hand comes next to your chest. And start to push into your right hand, starting to roll onto your left hip. From here, open up through the chest, bring your right shoulder all the way to the ground, coming into a reclined twist. Perfect. Yeah, so just bringing your right shoulder so it comes firm to the ground. Letting the knee maybe float a little bit off of the ground. You bringing more support under the knee. Maybe the shoulder, maybe if the shoulder is lifted, bringing more support under the shoulder. To make sure that the knee and the shoulder are both supported. Each time you exhale, just feeling the space from the right shoulder through the right knee become a little bit longer. Releasing any holding in the glutes, in the pelvic floor. Maybe turning onto your right cheek, twisting up the neck as well, easing off to your right. Relax the muscles in the face. Relax the forehead and the eyebrows. Relax the jaw, the belly, hands. Release the shoulders deeper into the mat. Start to feel your body sinking a little deeper into this posture. Start to count your breaths. Counting 7 more full exhales. What else you can let go of on each exhale. And then be slow, steady, and full and deep. Slowly we'll start to come out of this pose. Doing this by bringing your right arm back in toward the body, starting to roll back onto the belly, straightening out your right leg, bringing it back down long on your mat, and turning onto your right cheek. Maybe just resetting the spine, bend both knees in toward the bum, windshield wiper a few times. Moving a little slowly. Just being patient with yourself will even out the body. When you're ready, you can extend both legs long. And then bring your left knee into that half frog position. You can do that by bending the knee first and then sliding that knee out to your left, bringing the foot in line with the knee and the knee in line with the hip. You got nice 90-degree angles going on. And you can notice and feel right away if it feels a lot different on this side. Our left side is our more feminine, passive side of the body, the cooling energy, the yin energy. While our right side is our more active, our more fire energy, our yang. And the goal is to balance those energies. And sometimes with a more active lifestyle, our left side can suffer, and vice versa. If we have a more passive lifestyle, our right side can suffer. Or if we can find ways to bring balance to these sides by practicing like what we just did, flowing into resting, can really be helpful. Feeling the heart beating against the ground. Feeling the belly filling up as you breathe in. And when you're ready, we'll begin to make our way into our reclined twist on the other side. You can extend your right arm forward, bringing the right bicep alongside the right ear. Bring your left hand to the ground next to your chest and start to push into your left hand, rolling onto your right hip, coming around so that the left shoulder finds the ground. Maybe shifting your upper body slightly. And releasing here. Feeling the space between the left shoulder and the outside of your left knee. Feeling this position, wringing out the organs. Each time you exhale, just letting the navel sink in a little closer to the spine. Let go of any holding in the pelvic floor and the glutes. Let go of any holding in the shoulders. Maybe turn onto your left cheek, gazing off to your left, lifting up the neck as well. Deepening your breath, counting your exhales 7 more times. Seeing what else you can let go of. And we'll slowly start to make our way out of this pose. You can reach your right arm back up and roll back onto your belly. Making a pillow with the hands, rest the forehead down this time. And windshield wiper your knees back and forth again. Your feet. Massaging the belly against the mat, releasing the hips, releasing the spine. And then from here, you can bring your hands back under the shoulders, extend your legs long back on the mat, and just push yourself right back into a child's pose. So coming up for a moment, and then sitting the hips down on the heels, child's pose. Let's feel this nice length in the lower spine. Feel yourself surrender here. And then very slowly, very gently, start to make your way up to a seat on your ankles, rolling the body up. Then you can shift your weights to either side. When you get up there, bring the legs out long in front of you, scooching yourself to the center of your mat if you're not there. You can grab the backs of the thighs and slowly walk the hands down the thighs, bringing yourself to lay on your back. Hug your knees in toward the chest when you arrive. And we'll rock side to side, massaging the low back. If you want to massage the glutes and the hips, you can bring your soles of the feet as wide as your mat and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Massaging your glutes with just the weight of your body against the mat. And then when you're ready, you can reach both of your feet up toward the ceiling. Releasing every muscle in the legs, just allowing them to rest in the hip sockets. And then you can bring your arms up to do the same when you're ready. Reaching up, then releasing any muscles in the arms and the hands, just letting them rest in the shoulder sockets. Feeling the four corners of your torso be pinned against the mat by the weight of your own limbs and gravity. Allowing your hands and feet to grow a bit warmer, a bit tingly with the change in blood flow. Just letting all the blood rush into the torso, to the shoulders and the hips, evening out the body. A few more moments here. And when you're ready, you can bend the knees and come into your happy baby. Grabbing the outside edges of the feet, the ankles, the toes, the knees, whatever's available. Just drawing the knees toward the mat and the feet toward the ceiling. Shoulders coming toward the ground. Maybe you rock side to side. And then when you're ready, you can let the soles of the feet find each other and let the outside edges of your feet find the mat. Coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angled pose, and surrendering here. This pose feels really good for you. You're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. If you'd like to straighten out your legs at any point into your final Shavasana, you may do so. Bringing the palms to face up and away from the body. Let the full weight of your body be supported by the mat and the earth beneath you. Feel your body sinking closer into the mat. Release the muscles of the face. Release the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw. Let the shoulders sink deeper into the mat. You tune into your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your own heart. Let the ribs soften, let the belly relax. Feel the pulsing in both hands. Feel the belly soften. The low belly, the pelvic floor. Let the glutes release. Feel the length and the weight of your legs. Let yourself rest here. Feeling the pulse running through your entire body, from your toes through the tip of your head. Ready to find some movement once again. Begin to call air back to the body. Filling yourself up from the toes to the head. Starting to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, rock the head side to side. If you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, of course you're welcome to do so. I'd like to stay going. Inhale and reach both arms over your head. Take a nice morning stretch. And hugging both of your knees toward the chest. And then finding yourself in a fetal position on one side. When you're ready, you can push your top hand into the ground and slowly make your way up to your seat. Just with the eyes staying closed, meeting with hands at heart center when you arrive. First thing, fully and deeply thanking yourself for your practice today. May this practice continue to heal and energize you throughout the rest of your day, the rest of your weekend. May you bring some of this love and light to everyone in your own life. Namaste. Thank you.